In the subject advertising, students may be required as a compulsory question to attend to 3 areas regarding a newspaper or a magazine advert. These 3 areas are that: number 1, the student must prepare a layout for the particular advert, and number 2, that the student must prepare printer instructions for the particular advert, and number 3, that the student must write a copy for the advert. So the 3 areas that may be required in a compulsory question are that a student must be able to prepare a layout for an advert. Number 2, the student must be able to prepare printer instructions. And that number 3, the student must be able to write a copy for the particular advert. For each one of these 3, the backdrop or the background is that information is always going to be provided on the exam. This could be information with regards to a product or information with regards to an organization. It really does not matter. On principle, the information is going to be provided. So in this particular video, I'm going to show you how to attend to those 3 areas of expectation. Number 1, how to prepare a layout. Number 2, how to prepare printer instructions. And number 3, the copy. So what you see here are 2 pages. This is page 1, this is page 2. On page 1, this is where I am going to prepare the layout. This is where I am going to prepare the layout. And the layout starts with you making it very clear that there is a headline. Free internet. There should be a headline. What that headline is going to be is entirely going to be up to you, because it's going to be based on the information that you would have been given earlier. So you decide on what the heading is going to be. In this particular case, I am using free internet. It is very important that the headline is attractive. The headline must capture attention. So one of the first elements that you include in your layout is the headline. And in this particular case, I've put free internet. What's going to follow next is the strapline. What's going to follow next is the strapline. So your strapline is more like your motto, so to say. In this particular case, for the strapline, I'm going to say something like connecting the world. And I'm going to make it smaller, like that. Make it smaller. I'll place it right on the center. I think here should be the center. And I'm going to change the color to blue. So we have the headline and then we have the strapline. Next, I am going to indicate where an image or the pictorial is going to be included. And this is where I would put it. So here is where I would put an image. Now, this is an actual exam where you go into an exam room physically and attend to this particular type of question. Interestingly, students may draw an image here of what it is that they are talking about. In this particular case, free internet. So let me simply draw, for example, how a computer would look like. A desktop. Doesn't have to be perfect, but you get the idea. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect. You get the idea. And I'll draw another one here. And this is the monitor. And this one here is the keyboard and picture of the globe. For example, Africa looks something like this. Okay, and you've got other continents. Okay, you have Europe right over there. You've got Madagascar right over there. And you can say, okay, these are connected like that. These are connected. So it doesn't have to be perfect, but it just simply must make sense. Simply must make sense. In the real world, all this is not necessary. Even right here, I could place an actual image if I wanted to, but you don't use this software when you are on the exam. You would be using your actual paper and your pen and your pencil, whatever other tools you'd be using. And just to demonstrate, I'll simply bring in an image here, and the image that I would bring is an image of what? I mean, like I can bring an image of anything that is relevant. Okay, so let me see what kind of image I could bring up. Image, what image can I use? Could be an image of anything. Let's see. Let me put this image, right? So I will put this image. I'll put this image, for example, right over there. Okay, this is the image that I would put, but the image must fit into that placeholder that I included. So it means that I'll have to reduce the image in size to fit this particular placeholder there. Okay, there it is. So there you have the image. Okay, so you have got free internet app over there, the headline, you have the headline, you have the strapline, and then you have the image. But like I said, you will not have this luxury on the exam, so your image obviously may not be as good as this one. So just stick it to what it is that you would have drawn. What you then need to do is to put lines below this. This is the lines where the words would ideally be written. And the words in this particular case are all those nice things you want to say about a particular product. And you may write on one line, you may write on two lines, you may possibly write on a third line, on a fourth line, and on the sixth line. It's entirely up to you. But very important that I mention this. The words, which are known as the copy, are not written in the layout. In the layout, you just put the lines. This is very important. In the layout, you just put the lines. And so your layout is going to have the heading, the strapline, the image or pictorial placeholder, and the drawing you would have included, and the lines. These lines are reflective of where the text is going to be placed. And this text is what is referred to as the copy. But don't write it in the layout. Do not write it in the layout. Then after these lines, then you can include a call to action. A call to action. Every advert, a good advert, must have a call to action. So for example, the call to action here could be call 8003 today. That's a call to action. If it is on the internet, a call to action, for example, could be click here to subscribe. Another example of a call to action could be enter your email address to subscribe to the newsletter. You are simply requiring the customer who is looking at the advert to perform a function and for them to act. So just what I have demonstrated here is what you need to do if asked to prepare the layout. To repeat, the layout will have the headline, it will have a strap line, it will have an image placeholder with an image itself, it will have lines where ideally the text would be put, but the lines are just going to be like that. There is not going to be text on the lines. And then right here, this one is the call to action. This is fundamentally how you prepare the layout as required on the exam. The second part is the requirement to prepare printer instructions. The requirement to prepare printer instructions. And very interestingly, and maybe a point where I can say this is very easy, is that the printer instructions are going to be a reflection of what is in the layout. The printer instructions are going to be a reflection of what is in the layout. So remember that the components of a layout, there is the headline, the strapline, the image, the lines, and the call to action. These are what are going to be reflected in the printer instructions. So we have the headline. We're going to start with headline like this. Okay, so what I can just simply do here is this and then make it black. So just dealing with that. Okay, so we have the headline. So what is it about the headline? What is it about the headline? It is simple. This headline has characteristics. The headline has characteristics. What are these characteristics? Well, one of them is the color. One of them is the color. What color is this particular headline? We used red. So you indicate that it is red. What else? Font size. Font size. Okay, so maybe let me do this. If I can use these ones instead. Font size in this particular case, we would say 14 pixel. Okay, and pixel is just one of the measurements for a font. There are many different types of measurements you can use. I just simply selected pixel. What else? Let's see, alignments. Okay, this text, this one, the headline, it is aligned in the middle, in the center. So center, align, center. What else? I can say font style, and let me just say Arial. Just like that. Yes, just like this, and we're done. Just like this, and we're done. So maybe this, let me just underline it, makes it much more, it makes it recognizable. So the headline, these are the characteristics of the headline. The headline is right over here. The color is red. The font size would say 14 pixels. Alignment, center, font style, Arial. We're done. So next, what we have here is a strap line. So equally down here, we are going to just move this down there, and I'm going to change this to read strap line like that. The strap line also has characteristics like these ones right over here. Characteristics. Color. Is it red? Nope, it's blue. It's blue. Font size, obviously to be smaller, so let's just say 12 pixels. Alignment, equally it is centrally aligned. Okay, it's aligned to the center. And font style, we'll still keep Arial. So we are done with the characteristics of the strapline. Next, we'll go to the image. Okay, just copy this down here, and I'll say image, or I'll say, that's not the spelling for image. Image is like this, or I'd say pictorial. There is not much I can write about pictorial because there isn't text, but there are a few things I can take note of. So for example, this particular pictorial has a size. So I would say size, something like 600 pixel by 300 pixel. The size, this one here. The size. So I have selected this, that the size would be 600 in width and 300 in height. I can also indicate the alignment for this particular image. Alignments. Okay, and in this particular case it is center as well. If, for example, in the layout, I had decided that the image was not going to be like this, but that instead it was only going to be on the left side like this, then here under alignment, I would put left. But if I wanted it to be on the right, then here I would have put alignment right. But in this particular case, it is center alignment, but it stretches from one end to another. Next, I go to these lines, and these lines, remember, they represent the copy. The lines represent the copy. So I'll just get this down here, and this is what represents the copy, right? Yeah, so this is copy, and the copy obviously has characteristics. I repeat, don't write anything here, but you would know what the characteristic would be. For example, the color of the text that you're going to write could be black. The font size could be 14, Alignment could be justified, center. And the font style will still keep Arial. Just that. Are we done? No. Why? Because there's still this one here, which is call to action. Now, for purposes of space, I am simply going to get this one and move it here, recreate it here, and call this call to action. Call to action, like that. Okay. And the call to action characteristics, let's see. Call to action characteristics, there we go. This is what color? Color is blue. The color is blue. And what follows? The font size. The font size, we can keep it at 14 pixels. The font size, we can keep it at 14 pixels. Alignment center still, that's okay. And font style Arial, that's fine. And that's it. This is how you prepare your printer instructions. Your printer instructions are a reflection of what is in the layout. So you have the headline here. In the printer instruction, you indicate the headline and the characteristics of the particular headline. You have got the strapline, and in the printer instructions, you have strapline and the characteristics of the strapline. You have the image or the pictorial. Equally, here it is, image pictorial, and the characteristics accordingly. Then you have these lines. These lines, and again, I'll repeat, don't write anything here. These lines represent the copy. Copy simply being the text, the nice things you're going to say about a product or an organization. And so we are assuming that the copy is going to be of color black. The font size is going to be 12 pixels. The alignment justified center, and the font style Arial. In fact, the alignment, I would like to say justified left. That makes sense. Justified left, like that. What does this mean? I will show you when we actually write the copy. I will show you when we actually write the copy. For now, this is what you need to know about the layout and about the printer instructions.